Okay, here's our chassis. We just tuned it up and oiled it, and let's check out its performance. Night and day. Night and day. The bending of that reed, give a little bit of longer stroke. The bending of that reed to give it a longer stroke, and the fact that it doesn't rub upon braking, giving you that coast, that glide. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. That's actually a lot of, that's got a lot of kick. That's a good one. Well, the weight of the body will actually help that stability. And that's a good looking vibe. And that was simple. All we did was bend the reed and position it where it's got good interactivity with the drive gear. And again, you got to find a sweet spot. I lucked out here on the first attempt, and I can't overstate the relationship between the obvious, between the push rod and the brush plate and the top reed and the drive gear. It's a simple mechanism, and make sure nothing's binding. Often I find, even after some running of these things, I find that the drive gear tends to move left or right and bind against the chassis. So you want to make sure that nothing's binding up. And needless to say, obviously when the body's on, you want to make sure nothing's rubbing. And again, keep the axles oiled and the contacts clean, and these babies perform. These babies can perform. And sometimes it'll stop because the dust will get in between the contact. And your first attempt to getting your car running again is just to pry up, and don't overbend, mind you, but just pry up that arm of the contact brush and blow. It actually states that in the manual. And 8 times out of 10, that'll be your problem. Just dust in there, and you're back off and running. So there you go. We got a very high-performing chassis for minimal. What did I spend there? A minute and a half? 2 minutes? That's a thing of beauty. That's the thing. And AC current. I can't state that enough either. Yeah, they run on DC, but they run like dogs on DC. They were designed to run on AC current. Make sure you got an AC current and you have at least 24 volts. 24 volts is what the power pack came with, but hey, some of these chassis, each coil is different, and if you have the ability to have a power source that can increase the volts, you can go above 24, maybe up to 30. But depending on the chassis, I'm telling you, look, I'm filming and driving at the same time, which is why I'm not able to really concentrate all too well, but this guy fucking moved. Oh, sorry, pardon my language. This guy moved. All right, Jeff Ryan, there's chassis number 1. And all you owe me for that is a pair of gel claws.